Good morning, guys. Good morning, guys. It's Jonathan with One Big Impact. I actually was asked by Brenna Johnson to go live on YouTube again and kind of talk about Atkins. My stomach hurts, so I apologize. I'm not like my super chipper self. But first of all, drink your damn water. Actually, Shannon got this for me, and it's actually lemon unsweetened. It's not bad, and I think it's actually aiding my stomach ache right now. There's no sweeten in it. It's definitely kind of bitter, but that's all right. So as you may have seen in the title of this video, it says, who should do Atkins, or who is Atkins good for? So the question, who should do Atkins? Is an interesting question. You get a lot of people that ask, can I do it if I'm diabetic? Can I do it if I don't need to lose weight? Can I do it if I'm pregnant? Can kids do it? You get lots of questions. First of all, if you're asking this question, if you're pregnant or if you're a kid or something like that, just make sure you are talking to your physician. I'm obviously not your primary care physician or your doctor, and it's really important that you get that type of answer from somebody that is medically, professionally overseen. And now if you're taking any type of medications or anything like that, the most important thing would be to not change your own medications. Always make sure that is being done by your physician. In addition to that, if you're a child, I think they respond a little bit better on a little bit more carbohydrates. But I have seen kids do it and they've gotten good results. It really just depends on how bad that kid's relationship with carbohydrates are, because let's be honest, we all kind of know, and I'm not recommending it for you or anything necessarily. I'm just saying, if you are thinking about it, talk to your doctor, see what your doctor says. And I will say, be careful when you talk to your doctor, because doctors are not nutritionists. Am I? No, I'm not. But doctors a lot of the times will shun out certain things, and maybe it's a good idea to get a second, third, and maybe even fourth opinion. Atkins is something that is kind of macabre for a lot of people, and it's a lot of the times because it's completely misunderstood. Atkins follows a pretty positive, whole food based way of eating. And as far as like, if you were to compare it to how I would eat, 10 years ago versus what I'm eating on Atkins, it's a no-brainer. It's night and day. It would be definitely 10 times more positive to eat this way rather than eating another way. But a lot of the times doctors will think, especially older doctors, they will think Atkins is bad because the stigma that is carried around since the 80s and stuff. A lot of people have the wrong, or have a misconception of what they think Atkins is, as far as like eating as much cheese and meat as you want. And that's not the case. It's actually, majority of it would be vegetables. And people will say, well, how is the majority of it vegetables if, how is that even possible if there's only 12 to 15 carbs? Well, if you ever looked at low carbohydrate vegetables, and 2 cups of rice, which is a pretty good size amount of rice, rice, 2 cups of lettuce, you're going to get only a few carbs, and so on and so forth, depending on, that's why you pick the low carbohydrate vegetables. So you do get quite a bit of vegetables. You get that fiber in there. You get your system flushing out. And on Atkins, you're going to be eating way more fiber, way more veggies than probably anybody that is following a normal day-to-day diet or lack of dieting, because it's just not something that you incorporate in your daily basis. So if you're pregnant, if you're a kid, if you are taking medications, ask your doctor. If you don't like their opinion, go to another doctor. We've seen great results. So the first thing that I wanted to cover, I have sorry, 8 things that I want to cover. The first thing is type 2 diabetes. So we're going to draw a line here. Number 1, type 2 diabetics. Todd, one of my clients, my recent clients here in the gym that I'm doing training with and training a race, he was insulin dependent, and not only did it cost money, but he was having to give himself a shot occasionally or however so often. He no longer does that. He's following a low carb regimen, exercising, and it completely went away. Okay, so type 2 diabetics respond really well with this type of thing. It regulates your blood sugar. It stops those high spikes and those dropouts. And if you're not eating those carbohydrates and sugar, you're not craving them and screwing up your system every so often. The second thing is people with cravings. You know, that's me. I'm a sweet tooth sucker. If you struggle from cravings, we'll put if you struggle from cravings, Atkins can be really good. And the main reason it's really good is because the simple fact that your body, if you consume carbohydrates and you consume sugars, your body is instantly going to use those as fuel. Okay, we all know that. Maybe we don't all know that, but that is your primary fuel source. So if you consume carbohydrates and you consume sugar, your body says, okay, I got carbs, I got sugar, I'm going to use that first, and that's cool. But the funny thing is, carbs and sugar are kind of like a drug in a sense of they give you that really high energy and then you drop out. So naturally, you're going to, again, want to get that really high energy, and you're going to constantly be shooting for incorporating carbohydrates throughout your day, which can be a really bad cycle because it's okay if you're going to utilize them. But if you're looking for the brain spike, the energy spike mentally and stuff like that, a mental energy spike is going to be completely different than utilizing that energy spike in a physical manner, because carbs, although they will give you more alertness, they will wake you up and psych you out and stuff like that. Unfortunately, if you're not using that physical spike, then that's not going to benefit you in a positive way, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Cravings. Now, if you eliminate the carbohydrates and you eliminate using sugars and stuff as your primary energy and fuel source, your body will automatically transfer over the course of a few days, will automatically transfer over to burning fat as fuel or ketone bodies. And that is a much more steady state, pretty high steady state energy consumption, as far as like the carbs would be up and down, up and down, up and down, and you're craving them when you don't have them and stuff like that. But once you don't have them for about 3 to 5 days, your body responds pretty well, and you kind of just level out and you don't crave something anymore. Number 3 is inactive people. Like I just said, inactive people, people that are inactive. I'm sorry, I know I'm not chipper. My stomach's really hurting. Inactive individuals. It's really early. I don't know. I think I need to probably eat some food. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning or something. I just got done. No, it's 5 now. People that are inactive are going to respond really well to this type of way of eating. And the reason I say that is not because you're lazy or anything, but like I said before, carbs and sugar are okay in a sense if you're actually using them. So if I consume a bunch of carbohydrates and I consume a bunch of sugar, it's cool if I'm going to go run a marathon. Chances are 95% of the population is not going to run a marathon. Okay, it's not a thing. It's not going to happen. Okay, so, and if you start saying or making up the excuse, you start saying, you know what, I'm going to eat this and I'm going to go kick ass. Okay, so for example, Shannon just came in here. She was in here a little while ago and doing the stair climber. She did the stair climber for 30 minutes at like a 6, between 5 and 7 level, which is like pouring sweat, fat burn zone, working her literal butt off for 30 minutes. Okay. She got done and I said, I need you to give me the calories. I'm going to track it. It was 130. The average donut is about 300 calories. So she burned off a little less than half a donut in a half an hour. So if you double that and did her rest of her workout, the rest of the half hour, she did an hour workout, worked her butt off, and burned off a donut. Stop saying or getting into the mindset, it's okay, I can eat this and just go work out. Even if that were true, if you ate a bad meal from McDonald's or whatever, and nothing against McDonald's, whatever, people do what you want. If you ate a bad meal and say it's like 2,000 calories and it's not on your meal plan or something like that, I don't care how long you work out in that day, you're not going to burn it off. Your body has a cap in which it can no longer burn calories. Have you ever seen somebody that's really, really active, always going to the gym, and always overweight? A lot of the times that's because they say they're doing something and they could not be doing something. Maybe they say they're on track, but 4 out of the 5 meals a day they do perfectly fine. And then, randomly throughout the day, they go get, 1,000 calorie Starbucks drink or something loaded with sugar or something like that. So you're like back to square one. So it's really important that you understand that you can't do that. And if you are inactive, just in general, whether it's you have a sedentary job, whether on your days off you watch TV, watch movies, I'm not saying that's bad. Okay, everybody lives a different life. But it's important that you remember that Atkins is probably a really good option for you if you live a very inactive lifestyle. Now make sure you don't take that in the wrong way. I'm just saying, if you suffer from mobility issues, if you have health issues that, you can't get up and run throughout the day or get on a stair climber for a half hour or something like that, then Atkins is probably a really viable option for you. Number 4, emotional eaters. Emotional eaters to regulate and follow a plan and balance. Emotional eaters. And you're probably thinking, well, if I'm an emotional eater, then what the hell is Atkins actually going to do for me? If you're following a meal plan, there's no time to emotionally eat. You're eating 5 meals a day. 5 meals a day. You have no time. You're eating every 2 hours. You're not going through crazy mood swings because you're not having those huge spikes in your blood sugar, huge drops in your blood sugar. You're not all over the place. You're regulating your mood. Your energy levels are balanced. You're not stressing about food because you're getting it on a regular basis. And if you are an emotional eater, it can help a lot because if you think about eating bad, you just eat your next meal. It's fine, okay? Number 5, People that need to lose weight and know little about nutrition. 5. Lack of nutritional knowledge. This is going to take a little bit to type this out, sorry. If you don't know anything about eating whole foods, you're not really educated on the whole thing as far as like portions or just what it means to eat right, or what it means to eat, what amounts you need to eat, or whatever that may be, then Atkins is going to help you. I will say Atkins helped me mainly in the mental sense of understanding portion sizes, like what I should be consuming in a day. It was actually a lot more than I had initially thought. I thought for sure I was overeating, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't necessarily overeating. I was just eating too much of the wrong things. So it can really help with that. Number 6. People that don't eat healthy, okay? A lot of people don't understand what it means. People think they are eating healthy. People really don't know or care to eat healthy at all, but they're not sure why they're not losing weight or whatever. People that don't eat healthy in general, I know very thin people that don't eat healthy. And I know very thin people that have also not eaten healthy and switched to Atkins. And they don't do it because they're trying to lose weight. They do it because they want to have a whole food-based way of eating or diet. And it's a really good way to get your proteins, get your fats, as far as like your hormones regulated. Make sure you're getting your vegetables to clean out your system. Make sure you got a clear colon and everything like that, and get your fiber, and your system is humming along. Your energy is high and balanced, and it's all good to go. Number 7. People who have unhealthy relationship with food. Oh my gosh. That is me. There are people, and I'm probably discussing this for myself as well as others watching this, with food. There are people not only that are emotional eaters, but eat when they're pissed, they eat when they're sad, they eat when they're angry, they eat when they're happy, they eat when they're vacationing, they eat when they go to the store, they eat before they go to the store, they eat after they go to the store, they eat when they go to the gas station, they eat when they're going to the bathroom, they eat when they're in the tub, they eat when they're doing this. And I've done all of this, okay? There are people like myself that just have a bad relationship with food. It's like every possible reason to eat like crap, okay? Or just eat, just consuming, okay? It is an unhealthy relationship, and it goes beyond emotional eating. It just goes beyond, it goes into the comfort thing. I eat because it makes me feel good. I eat because I'm happy. I eat because I feel secure. I had a lack of food. I was neglected from food. I was starving. It's all kinds of things that relationship is just completely screwed. This can help you rebuild a relationship with food in a positive way. But the thing is, you got to be on it. You got to be strict. You can't just say, you know what? I'm going to work on Atkins. I'm going to rebuild my relationship with food. And then I'm going to fall off. No, you have to continue with this type of thing, because you have to understand, it's kind of like seeing yourself from the outside. Somebody that sees me is going to probably see me as irresponsible. They're going to see me as sporadic. They're going to see me as a spaz. They're going to see me as all those things. But I may see myself as dedicated, motivated, strong-willed, and all these things because that's what I see. So sometimes look at yourself from other people's perspective and stuff. Say, you know what? I'm going to look at myself from over here, and I'm going to say, you know what? Look at some pictures of yourself. Okay, so clearly I've got something going on with food, and whether it's not eating enough, or it's eating too much, or it's eating the bad things, or whatever. Something's wrong, or I'm eating at the wrong times, or something like that. So keep that in mind. Try to see yourself from a different perspective. Number 8, and the final one is, and I would say this is probably, let me get down here. Okay, sorry about the bad handwriting. Number 8, when nothing else works, aka when other things don't work, okay? Many people will try many different things, whether it's yo-yo dieting, whether it's if it fits your macros, whether it's South Beach diet, whether it's Weight Watchers, whether it's keto, whatever it is, okay? If you've tried everything else, I would say, and keto is probably a good one as well. I would say keto and Atkins are pretty damn similar. There's a few differences, but if nothing else has worked or other things have not worked as far as like regulating your carbohydrates or your calories or whatever, I think Atkins is probably a great alternative because chances are, here's the problem. The problem is when we go into a caloric deficit, and I'm not saying that you don't have to be in a caloric deficit because that really is pretty much the fundamental of everything. But as you reduce your calories on a lot of what diets do and stuff, and you increase your activity to become more in a caloric deficit, it becomes difficult to keep everything going. It becomes difficult to keep humming along and expelling more energy, but consuming less. And that's what a lot of diets are based on. Now, Atkins really doesn't. The reason Atkins works so well is because fat keeps you full. You have lots of fat, and fiber and vegetables keep you full, and also protein keeps you full. Okay. The two things that they're eliminating is sugars and carbs. Okay. The sugar's going to give you those spikes, and it's like 5 minutes of fullness. Not even that, okay? The carbs give you that spike. They're great for lifting weights and stuff like that, but then after that, it drops out, and then you want more, okay? So if everything else has not worked for you, I 100% recommend that you follow something like this. You guys, it's not something that happens overnight. Atkins takes a little bit of effort. It takes learning. But the biggest and most important thing is, regardless if you're following Atkins, if you're following keto, if you're just reducing your calories, if you're trying to get exercise and trying to work out more or whatever it is, consistency is literally the most important factor. It doesn't matter if you follow Atkins. I'm not saying that this is the end-all cure-all. It doesn't matter if it fits your macros. It doesn't matter if you do paleo. It doesn't matter if you do a Mediterranean diet. It really doesn't matter what you do. As long as you're in a slight caloric deficit, you make sure you keep updating things as you become a smaller person because you will need less calories. If you're 350 pounds, maybe you need 3,000 calories a day. But if you're 100 pounds, good luck trying to consume 3,000 calories and staying that size. It's really important that you understand that as you evolve and as you become more consistent in everything, your body is changing and its needs are changing as well. I hope you guys liked our video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. If you ever need meal plans, I have 4-week plans for $45, 8-week plans for $80, and 16-week plans for $135. as far as Atkins is concerned. Also, go check us out on our Facebook group. I'll put it in the link in the description below. It is called Healthy Living for a Healthy Life. And also, if you need a personal trainer and you are in the Arizona area, specifically Chandler or Mesa area, please let me know, and I would love to help you get healthy. Have a beautiful day, guys. Be stronger than your excuses, and remember to spread love, not hate. Peace.